Sokefun is a multi-talented Nigerian-American author, lawyer, and industrialist. In spite of his business and professional grounding, he has always gravitated toward the creatively inclined. Gbenga's passion for law and writing triggered his interest in creative writing. Adigun is his first attempt at organizing his many stories into a full-fledged fiction novel. His style delivers a uniquely grounded work of fiction, painting fiction with a brush so real you can feel it. In this book, he attempts to showcase the diverse nature of the Nigerian culture whilst addressing a terrible social plague, human trafficking. In his book, Adigun, he utilizes near-life character and introduces scene with breathtaking settings. In this new episode of Conoscere TV, we are excited to welcome Gbenga, who's right now connected with us. Hi, Gbenga. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, how you doing? Good morning.
Very good.
Buongiorno.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. I would start talking about Adigun. So, what is this novel about? How can we introduce the plot?
Well, I think the novel is just a very interested, intertwined plot that has to do with the prevails of two characters. Two boys grew up together in Africa, and they make their ways into Europe. And at some point, they both went to the edge of criminality in Europe, and they kind of find themselves, discover themselves, whilst they both had a common issue with their fathers. And the book reunites them towards the end of the book, but not after a lot of so many twists and turns and very dramatic events, bringing all kind of issues and set in a very multi-locational setting. The book goes from Jobore, a fictitious African village, to London, to Chicago, to Washington, D.C., and then back to Africa again.
So, an interesting element in your story is something that you just mentioned. The reader followed the stories of our two main characters who have something in common, which is both of them face the fundamental challenges to become men under the shadows of their fathers. What does it mean? I would like to stop on this for a second.
Well, Adigun was a little boy with Chike. They grew up together. They were neighbors in the village. And they had the same similar background, very African upbringing and foundation. And they were also sole children, the only child of their parents. Therefore, in Africa, when a man has just one child, they become very, very, very focused on them. They become that spectacle of attention. And they worry about them, their adulthood. And it just happened by very different circumstances. They found themselves, in the foreign land. Adigun, based on the circumstance that was created by the fact that he thought he had committed murder as a boy, he plotted, to run away from the law. Different from Chike, who found himself in a wealthy environment, also hiding from his uncles who were out to murder him. So they both had to flee from trouble.
Okay, let's just not spoil everything. Let's leave it for the reader. Just one last question. What is the target public for this book? Is it meant to be read by children, by young adults, by adults? Who were you thinking of?
I think Adigun is a special book. It's cross-dimensional. It cuts across sex, cuts across age. I've had young people, kids would love it. At the beginning of the book, when Adigun was a child, it resonates with everyone's childhood, wherever you are, anywhere in the world. I have old people just calling me about the book, excited about what they find there. It's amazing. Somebody called me the other day, a mother called me and said, "Do you have Adigun's phone number? Because he needs some motherly love." I'm like, no, Adigun doesn't have a phone. Adigun is in the book, and that's where he lives. It's amazing that it just cuts across all ages and all backgrounds, cuts across race, cuts across, all those barriers that, so it's difficult to segment Adigun. Very difficult for me.
Very interesting. So let's leave it to the reader. Now we thank you very much again for your time, and we want to wish you best luck with Adigun.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm so grateful.
Adigun by Gbenga Sokefun is now available in bookstores and digital platforms. It's a publication by Eurobox.